So what's your podcast about?
Okay, this is making me feel really uncomfortable. Not like it. Is my mic on? Okay. Well then, let's go. We got our van. I got my new tattoo.
Oh my God.
He's healing, so.
Oh, I love him.
He's in his healing era.
Yeah, with the cigarette and the switchblade. Oh my God. Is that you in bird form?
Yeah, he's gonna go to his friend's birthday because they're gonna have cake.
Yes, and he's got tattoos, duh.
So he's got the knife to cut the cake.
Obsessed.
Is he going to
I'm
the
catching
pickle
up
party?
to Jamie. Look, I got
You
this.
are. Getting there. Your leg's getting there. Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Quiet Coyote Podcast. As always, is Clyde. Welcome back. My name is Jamie. I'm going to be your hostess with the mostest today. For those of you who don't know, because I haven't talked about it in a while, and my mentor told me to, I am a life coach, I'm a Reiki practitioner, and I'm an interfaith ordained minister for all of your needs. And today with me, as always, is the lovely and newly tattooed John Jeremy.
Hey guys, how you doing? It's John Jeremy. And you're right, that's a good thing to always practice to say. I'm a musician, person in recovery, now trying to do film, so filmmaking, and podcaster. And we're here with this recovery podcast.
Awesome. Because it's important to put ourselves out there, right? And we were talking about that on the way over here in the drive. This is our lovely guest, Michelle, back for round two.
Hello, everyone.
Michelle. Welcome back, Michelle. Thank you for coming back.
Thank you for having
us.
me again.
Of course. I'm loving your fit. I love the shorty, the overalls with the shorts and the pink. You're looking very fresh today.
Yes, I was definitely channeling my 90s vibe.
Yes. Don't just say less. We're 90s kids on this couch, right?
Yeah, no, I love the overalls. I'm looking for more overalls.
Yes,
and
yes.
Overall, I'm looking for more.
Look for more overalls. And overall, what is our podcast about? We got to talk about that for those of you who might be tuning in for the first time. Yes,
listeners.
This is the Quiet Coyote Podcast. We talk about sobriety without the silence. So we talk about sobriety, mental health, wellness, entertainment, travel, and everything in between. About the wellness of life, because I think life is about having fun, not just about healing all the time, right?
Oh my goodness, we gotta have fun.
Gotta have fun.
Yes, enjoy the days that you have.
Yeah, and make them memorable.
Yes.
That's what we're doing at 9:30 or 10 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday with our drinks. Can you tell everybody about this interesting drink you are having today?
What do you have in there?
It is pretty cool. It is called Pretty Tasty, unsweetened collagen iced tea with 10 grams of collagen per serving. Mm-hmm. It is very expensive, though, so, but I got it on Amazon, and it's pretty good.
Awesome. That's a good thing, I think. What a good way to segue into, a first topic idea that we were talking about kind of off air is about aging and about how do we take care of our mind, body, soul, spirit when our body literally is falling apart every day. In theory, every day we're closer to death, right? So
yeah, body's breaking down.
Yeah, literally every day. So everything that breaks down but still continues to run like an old car, right? You know, you just got to tune it up sometimes. So what are some things that you are doing to tune up your body these days?
Well, I think that your emotional energy is a big factor in aiding the recovery and, the endurance of our aging bodies that are physically, breaking down. Mind over matter in some situations, but positivity, affirmations, keeping going. Sometimes, as we were saying off air, John, you said, fake it till you make it. And to an extent, I think that that's true, because if you look at every day, even not I'm going into I have to do this and I have to do that, and today's gonna be horrible and I hate my job, but put a smile on your face, feel confident, say I look good, I'm beautiful, I got this. And it kind of sets the tone. And brings that energy that you need to kind of move forward in the day.
Absolutely.
Like affirmations.
Yes.
Telling, words are powerful.
They are.
Saying that, no, I am beautiful.
Yes.
You are beautiful, John.
I am.
Yes, you are.
I'm adorable.
The most adorable little frog. He's my best frog friend, this guy over here, so.
Yeah. No, that's for sure. I adhere to that. And plus you're not putting alcohol in your body and destroying it.
Yes. It's coming up on 23 months since
Amazing.
my last
I can't believe it.
sip
Wow.
of alcohol. And I can't believe it. I'm still in disbelief that I really stopped drinking.
I remember when I first met you when you were in the middle of the struggle, when you were in the middle of the struggle and we were going to meetings and stuff together. We went to this wild meeting in Bayshore where it was as Bill sees it meeting, I think, which is not too common out there. There's not a lot of those, so I just remember that newly sober or getting sober energy that you had, that we all had, in the beginning, where you're just kind of frantic and you're just kind of everywhere and nowhere and everywhere at the same time. So it's so wonderful to hear that's 23 months already. It's amazing.
I can't believe it. And they say you get you guys say you get a little squirrely coming up to your anniversary.
You do get a little squirrely coming up to your anniversary. Are the nuts in up there?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's I heard it's a therapeutic term, maybe anniversary effect or something like that.
Really?
Oh, I heard that. Yeah, very beginning. I heard that in therapy. They say on the anniversary of certain traumatic or whatnot things that the body will just automatically start to feel certain types of ways. So for me, it was very bad for me when I got sober. So my anniversary is in October. So every October in the beginning, I would get squirrely. But as I got better, we talked about drilling recovery into the ground, but I did drill. I went insane with 3-4 meetings a day for many years, but I liked it.
Yeah.
I liked it. Even to this day, I'll still do 3 meetings a day, but because it's just I want to support, I want to be there, and I have a lot. I know, we were talking positive talk. I have a lot to offer. All the stuff that I do listen to, or Jamie too. Jamie sends podcasts to me. She's like, "Oh, we're just talking about this," and listening to it, I'd be like, "Oh, now I have even more to share at a meeting." I came to bring something to the meeting, but now I get I got excited now with my anniversaries. Now I get emotional.
Yeah.
It went from feeling squirrely and not liking it, and then some years passed, and then now I feel everything makes me cry. Everything is beautiful, and I get all "Oh my God, that's so beautiful."
Yeah.
But that's a better feeling than feeling
yes.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah. But,
you're scratching, you're itching in your skin,
How do you feel during anniversaries?
During my anniversary, definitely. I still sometimes feel that
squirrely.
It's a little squirrely. Maybe a baby nut, a little tiny pecan, or a little almond.
Not the Ice Age squirrel.
Not the Ice Age squirrel. not the acorn squirrel. If you don't know Ice Age, it's this squirrel who all he wants is this nut, man. And he's going over and above and beyond to try and get this nut, and it causes an Ice Age. It doesn't feel like that anymore, But for me, it's just that kind of impending doom feeling, a little bit of oh, is the other shoe going to drop? As if I'm going to go pick up or something. I'm not, but it just feels that way. Is something going to happen? That impending doom kind of feeling, a little bit of doomy in the brain, right? So that's how I usually feel during my anniversary. Because not only are you celebrating this wonderful gift that was given to you and gift that you continue to unwrap every day and you maintain this gift, right? But you're also kind of remembering all the stuff that got you there, around that, for me, 7 years ago, what was happening. It's not good. There's not fun feelings, with that. So it's a little bit of both, it's appreciating the gift, but also the impending doom of what's going to happen. Is the other that kind of foreboding joy, right? Is the other shoe gonna drop?
Yeah.
And the body's weird. The body just kind of I have anxiety disorder. So what that means for me is that my body also may have. Part of it is also that it has it false alarms. So it'll release cortisol or adrenaline, right? So my body, it'll just do that because it's overactive, and that's where my body thinks, oh, danger.
Yep.
So for me, it's kind of that's how it is with the anniversary stuff, where it's the impending doom. And that's when the recovery and therapeutic stuff comes in, where I'm like, oh, well, this is just a thought. This is just the feelings, and it's cool. Like, I don't like it. Maybe there is danger. Maybe there is. But the overactive body settles down for me. It settled down for me.
Yeah, it does. We talk a lot about this in like the life coaching work I do about the brain and how the brain is so powerful. Like you're saying, like with the anniversary stuff, right? And the adrenaline and all that stuff. It's because like your brain is trying to keep you safe, to get you prepared for the danger that it is perceiving, from like whatever that is, and there are ways like you do like the kind of like the exposure therapy, right? Of like every anniversary, hopefully it gets a little bit better, experiencing those kinds of things. And, the thing that we need to do is kind of like break that between the amygdala, right, and your thinking brain. So between your lizard brain, like it's saying, your thinking brain, because your lizard brain just wants to survive and it'll do anything that it can to make you survive, even make you do crazy things where you're like, why am I feeling this way? There's no danger in front of me, but your brain is perceiving the danger. So, and by like doing kind of like, different kind of work that we do, in my practices, like we can like sever that synapses, we call it, between the thinking brain. So you can have that kind of free will again or even when you are experiencing, like you said, now you know what it is. Like, oh, I know I'm experiencing this. Like, okay, brain, like, you all right? Like, I know you're trying to keep me safe, but I can handle this, And it's just so interesting, like what our mind and our body does.
What our minds are capable of, which is how I intend to fight the aging process. Thinking positive, trying to think the stress away. And I have so much stress. Like, I don't even think it's normal. I'm in the middle of an intense custody battle.
Yeah.
Yes.
We have trial dates. Fortunately, since my last appearance, it has been exposed for basically the legal abuse that it is. But, I'm set to graduate from college in December.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm. Thank you. When I was about 6 months sober, I just went on this domino effect, and I wound up going back to finish my undergrad, and now I'm done in December, and I'd like to sit for the LSATs.
Yes.
And I would just like a period of rest, and I really try to engage positive thinking and like trying to stop the overflow of cortisol and stress that I'm always under.
Yeah. I remember reading once that a definition of stress could be that when your brain thinks that you're not capable of handling everything that's coming onto your plate, So when I think about that, and if it's the brain thinking that you can't handle everything on your plate, well, like you said, it's kind of like trying your best. It's easier said than done. Trying your best to shift your mindset of like, I'm capable. I've been through this before. I made it through 100% of my bad days. I can ask somebody for help, or I can ask something for help if I need to.
Yes.
It's like the idea that like you don't need, because I think when you're stressed out, you think you're in it alone.
Yeah.
And you can figure it out alone. And sometimes it's helpful to, reach out to your higher power, to your friends, to your therapist, to your sponsor, whoever it is, just to kind of like calm yourself a little bit, because you don't have to handle life by yourself. And I thought for a long time I had to handle life by myself. So that's a great reminder to me,
Yeah, stress is icky.
It is.
But for me, like I've been learning in the beginning, anything that was icky, I tried to shield off. Like you're not allowed here. And there is some good, valid, use for those type of techniques, but also understanding like stress is just like inevitable. Yes. If I had like my project, whatever project I have, also my mind automatically goes with, man, it's going to be a lot of work, John. And I'm going to be frustrated. It's going to be, it comes with frustrations. It comes with like my own personal goals, like goals within goals, like the way I want to control things, the way I want to. There's nothing wrong with controlling like my stuff, but like, it sounds like, not only are you but like, you're getting sober, coming up on an anniversary, you're going through court battles, and then like, you said the aging thing, like it's compiling. Yeah. That's like a natural, like everyone, we all have that compiling thing. And for me, it was like embracing it. Now it's like I embrace it, and like, I still feel it though. Yes. But like it loses, what I resist persists. So what I like embrace, which is kind of like be more like, oh, okay, like trying to hold in a fart.
Yeah. Don't hold in a fart, then you'll explode inside, right? That's how that works.
Yeah.
So don't hold in your farts. That's my quote for the day, I guess, when we do a wrap up. But it makes me think of like the Kinsey scale, the Kinsey scale of sexuality, where it's like, it's not gay or straight. It's like you kind of fall in the middle. And it kind of reminds me of like stress. It's like it's not like you're not stressed out at all, or you're overwhelmingly stressed out that you cannot function. Like, I feel like we all fall somewhere in the middle, and we have practices that we can do to get closer to the less stressed side of life. And sometimes, no matter what our practices are, sometimes we're at the more stressed part of life. Yes. And that's okay too. And just knowing that nothing is forever, nothing lasts forever, even if it feels like it lasts forever. And just kind of like that resilience we were talking about off air, right? Yes. Just like, how do we develop our resilient practices to be able to handle the storm of life, And
recognizing, do you guys recognize when you're overwhelmed?
Yes.
Yes.
You recognize it? When you're like, something's not right.
Yes. Yes. It was like it's 2 days this week, like at work I work in family court. So it's stressful, and just like not only the cases were stressful, but the attorneys were stressful. Like this one attorney, who's normally like on point, was just like in my ear, like complaining or whatever. And like cases are on the record with the judge. And I'm like, I am overwhelmed. Like, what is happening? Like, where are the social cues here? Right. And then I just literally like at lunch, I had to take a deep breath and be like, we're at lunch now. Let's just let that go. Like, and I found out afterwards that she was going through some stuff, because I heard her speaking to another attorney, that this attorney was going through some stuff. And I'm like, it's okay. We're all going through stuff. Like, there's times I'm short with people. There's times where I'm like, I can't deal with you right now, kind of stuff. And, when I'm realizing that I'm overwhelmed, sometimes I need that kind of like time to myself. Like, so like those evenings, I made sure to kind of like, take care of myself, kind of like do not disturb my phone, but just kind of like not be on my phone as much, just kind of like be, just like, brain dump, like watch TV, read a book, hang out with my cat, Kimmy. That definitely helps me. But like, there'd be times where I just like constant run and constantly have my mind going, and that's not good for me when I'm stressed out.
Yeah, you brought up a good point about people. Mm-hmm. Like sometimes there's like high-strung people that will come to me and like bring that. I'm the high-strung person at work, because I want to leave. So my job is we get paid regardless, the same amount. If we get done, we get to leave.
Yeah.
And for some reason, my supervisor likes to like la la la. Like I'm just like asking and like doesn't even look at me when I ask like, hey, are we good? Or like, does anyone need help? Can we like, and just like really slow, like, and I'm just and that I'm high strung in that situation because I'm thinking, why wouldn't you want to leave early? Why wouldn't you want to leave at 10 o'clock instead of 2:30 on a beautiful day?
Yeah.
I can go get stuff done, or I could like, whatever. But that point of dealing with other people that are high strung and bringing that stress adds to, like, for example, like like you said, like our body, rejuvenating our bodies. Yeah. Like stress is what sucks a lot of that.
It does. It sucks the life out of you,
It's a coincidence that you said that you had an issue at work this week. I had an issue at work with another paralegal who spoke to me very condescendingly last week. Mm-hmm. And so, she has seniority over me in the firm, but not so much in terms of experience. And so I brought something to her, and she started kind of bordering on disrespectful. And she said, what is your problem with me? And I took a deep breath and I said, my problem is what you said to me last Friday. It was condescending and it was uncalled for, and I don't appreciate it. And so, there was corrections to be made. So I said, can I have that back? And she's like, no. And she's like, why are you being mean to me? And I was like, we identified the problem. We identified the resolution. I would like to do this. How else would you like me to end the conversation or resolve the conversation? And she's like, you're just being mean to me. And then, so I go back to my desk, and she closes the door to her office and starts crying. And not only is she crying, she's like sobbing, wailing, like I just ran over her dog.
Yeah. Wow, that sounds like something in her was really
activated,
triggered. Because I know for myself, like I've been learning that when I don't feel heard, my face turns a little red. I get a little flushed because I'm like frustrated, like when someone doesn't understand what I'm saying, and like you said so many times before that, like it's okay if they don't understand. They don't have to understand, but I would like for them to understand, so that way, and it feels like there was that thing coming up in her, right? Like you were like, hey, this is the situation, which is, I applaud you for that, because that's hard. That's hard in general, to come and tell somebody like you have a problem with them.
Really how you feel, especially in a professional environment where it's like you have to work together to get things done, So again, like, I also applaud you for doing that in what sounded like a respectful but also firm way. Like, this is not your friend. Like, you told me what needs to be corrected. Let me do it. And you're not giving me the work back so I can do it. Yeah, so definitely I understand how you were getting a little frustrated.
Well, when the wailing ensued, I grabbed my stuff and I left.
Yeah.
It was 4:30, and the senior partner wasn't there, and he would take her side anyway.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot. That's stuff like I feel like jobs. I guess they try yearly to kind of like talk about these type of things where it's
like a yearly review of like how you're doing.
How do I handle that?
Yeah.
How do I handle that? Like, I'm just having a conversation. I'm telling you that I'm being honest. I'm sharing this is what happened. Then all of a sudden, like, something like that happens.
Yeah, and like the idea of like, we are trying our best here on this couch to be authentic, real people, and that's not sometimes welcomed in a work environment, right? Like, you can't tell this girl, like, like, I don't really want to work with you. Like, you're being ridiculous. Like, you have to, like, always figure out how do you be professional, but also how do you be true to your heart? Because, if you just, like, kind of, like, bent over, I don't like that phrase. Why did I use that phrase? If you kind of just, like, acquiesce to her without being, like, this is how I feel about how you were talking to me. Like, that is betraying yourself, And like when we are silent about what's bothering us, we're betraying ourselves, and we're betraying, and I do that all the time. Like, I very much betray myself all the time. It's something I'm working on. So like, I feel like that's a beautiful lesson that we got to have from you today. Like, how do you be professional, but also share what you need to share to make your heart lighter and your soul lighter, so you can continue to do the job you're doing.
I'm not looking back to read, because I wound up taking medical leave for 2 days. And I really needed it. And I'm not looking forward to going back on Monday, because I know how it's going to work out.
Those things are hard to navigate. Like, the pastor that's been on the podcast, like, he had said he doesn't, like, he's a pastor, but when he's at work, he's not like a pastor.
Not a pastor.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes,
like,
I do.
When I'm in recovery, I'm in my meeting, like, but I'm not, when I walk into a meeting, I'm not the podcaster. I'm not the rapper. I'm not the filmmaker. I'm not whatever I am. When I walk in, I'm an alcoholic. So in the work, it's like so hard to maneuver, because it's not like a friend where we could be like, well, I kind of have to like step away from this friendship. I can't step away from a coworker, because I have to hand you files, or I have to like work with you, and I would preferably like to work nicely.
Yeah.
But like that's such a right, like a real navigating thing.
Yeah,
I feel like you deal a lot with like personalities
all the time. Like,
and you can't just walk.
I'm just thinking about that. Yeah, like, I interact with different attorneys all day, every day. That's my job. I'm a liaison. I liaise between attorneys and even my coworkers and my supervisors and the assistant directors and stuff. Like, sometimes the director, and it's challenging because you have to get the job done. My job, I have to get my job done, and my job depends on other people doing their jobs. And if they don't do their jobs, the court looks at me of like, why isn't this done? Why isn't this accomplished? Like, why don't we have an answer on this?
Falls on you.
Yeah, falls on me.
For sure.
But luckily, I work in a great courtroom. Like, I really respect my judge and, my attorney, because I'm not an attorney. My attorney, we work well together, and I have to sometimes even with my attorney be like, hey, like, I understand why you did that, but like for instance, there was a moment where we were trying to resolve a case, and the caseworker had to call somebody outside of the agency to get information, and she was with my attorney, so I wasn't there, right? And she gets the information, I check in with the caseworker, and she was like, I was alone with the respondent's attorney making this call. I'm like, what? Like, you shouldn't, like, you're not supposed to, you're not supposed to, like, be alone with an attorney, like, talking with an attorney without your attorney present, So I had to, like, gently tell my attorney, I'm like, hey, listen, like, I know, like, it may seem innocuous to you, but it made the caseworker very uncomfortable to be making this phone call with mom's attorney sitting next to her. Like, she didn't feel comfortable, and she's like, oh, I understand, whatever. And like, that was an uncomfortable conversation. I don't want to have that, but that's my job. I have to have these conversations because it's my job to make sure my caseworkers are represented well, and that the agency is represented well. And it was like a tiny little honest mistake, but like it's just like so hard to be like juggling, just like you do, and just like you do, juggling 1,000 things at once. Like that's literally my job, like, that I get paid for, and to be able to, like, yes, I try my best to bring my sober, my recovery, my life coaching, my interfaith spirits, I'll say, into what I'm doing, which is like most of the time being like, everybody's sick and suffering. Everyone's got their own stuff. This is not about you. Like, just be kind, gracious, and just move forward, but in the back of my brain, I'm like, F you. What the heck? This is nonsense. This is bullshit. And there's just like so much like kind of like of that kind of talk.
Part of it is true though.
Yeah.
Isn't it though? Like it is kind of bullshit. It is kind of like when people like what that lady did to you is kind of like, well, that's kind of, like the situation, I'd look at it. And I think it's okay to say when something is kind of crappy, but you deal with it.
Yeah,
I liked how you dealt with it.
Yeah,
Do you think would you have been honest with her prior to 23 months ago, like when you were drinking, or were you saying?
No,
you think you would have reacted
I probably would have been like, nothing.
You would have kept it.
I probably would have kept it inside.
What do you think you've done in that 23 months that made you be like that now? That you were honest and you said, hey, I didn't like what you said.
Honestly, I've been feeling resentment towards her because it's
the
just,
big R.
Yeah. It's just, she was on maternity leave for 7 months and now she works 2 days from home, but it's kind of like anything goes with her. And, I understand that she has experience in the legal field, but it's less, and it's not. It's more like learning in the workforce experience. So I find it very frustrating, and I still don't even know if this is going to be viable for me long term because I will not deal with that stress, especially because that kind of behavior is just absolutely unacceptable.
Yeah.
We're adults. We're working in a firm, and I did not raise my voice. I did not use profanity. I did not insult her. I addressed the issue, and I think it was the fact that I was so direct.
Yeah, and it made her uncomfortable, Yeah. And sometimes when we are direct, it makes people uncomfortable because we think that, you got to play nice, you got to be whatever. But like, that is a beautiful example of boundaries, of personal boundaries, because I think that's something you've gained over the last 2 years, especially is boundaries and what is acceptable and what's not acceptable, and she's probably not used to people being direct with her because of whatever experience she had, because I do agree. It seems like from what you're saying, I know there's 3 sides to every story. Yours, hers, and the truth, right? But, it seems like she had a very extreme reaction to that. And she probably was having not that I'm trying to defend her, but she has got her own stuff going on. She had a poopy day, like postpartum is a thing.
I was about to say that.
I've been very, very, very careful to be mindful of her.
Right.
I've granted just about all the grace that I can here.
That's what it sounds. It sounds like that. That you, like in recovery, I ask myself, at what point do I say, well, they have border personality, or they're bipolar, or they're schizophrenic? Like, at what point is it like sometimes, you know what, that person's just an
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying she is, and this is a totally different topic but I'm switching. Sometimes I wonder, I give person a lot of grace, and then at a point it's like, but everyone has their issues. There's people that have mental things or just had a baby and have postpartum, but they're able to handle it, the way they handle it. Maybe a little better, and we all handle it different. But I'm not saying that there's a limit to grace. I don't believe that. I believe that I give as much grace as I can, but at some points, like with friendships, I gotta be like, hey, I'm here, but that's as much as I can give.
I feel like that's the constant conundrum of, especially if you're in recovery.
It is
substance abuse, mental health, whatever. If you're in recovery, it's like, where does the line cross between love and tolerance, graciousness, like letting go, moving forward, and being like, this is really bothering me. I'm sick of this. Like, this is BS. This is really affecting me.
Even enabling.
Yeah. And I'm enabling the behavior, right?
So it's affecting you.
Yeah. And I think once it affects you, that's when you have to do something. Like, your resentment was affecting you at this point, and you had to do something, So I feel like once, the outside is starting to affect your inside, that's when you have to address it in whatever way you think is appropriate. Directly with the person, within yourself, with your sponsor, because when we let that fester, that's when we let kind of our old thinking, our old patterns come back, because I was a resentful motherfucker when I was out there, like everyone had it against me, like nothing was right, nothing worked out in my favor, like I'm a piece of crap,
that negative self-talk.
Nothing's good, negative, exactly, the negative.
My life will never be good.
Yep. I'm gonna be alone forever, all that stuff. So.
It just adds to the stress.
Mm-hmm. You're right. It just adds to the stress.
There's only a tolerable amount. Yes. And then it adds to wrinkles.
Circling back.
Back to the resilience. Like, how do we be resilient? It's because we're being open and honest with people.
Yeah, because some is genetic when we're getting older and trying to, keep our... But, I've noticed the people that are older, they cross a line where, I heard in your 70s, this is just what I heard. I might have read it in the Farmer's Almanac, those books we had back in... You could find them at the supermarkets, I think, still. But it said that in your 70s, you feel like you did when you were in your 20s. Can you believe that?
I literally was having this conversation with Laura, my mentor, last night. We had a 3-hour chill where I'm going through some stuff with my spiritual and support group where I need to, I believe, find a new location, and my co-host is no longer available to facilitate with me. So we were kind of talking about life, and she was sharing last night about how she's about to turn 70, and she was sharing last night that she's got her clients, she's got her life, but she feels like she's retired because she's like, I'm not grinding anymore. I am not she doesn't have 9 to 5, but she's like, I'm not filling my days up with clients and with things and whatever. And she's doing stuff that brings her joy. She loves walking at Long Beach. So she's doing that, she's just in her garden for 3 hours before I went last night to see her, and it's and I feel like that ease of life is something that is an illusion of we can have that ease of life now, she's it makes sense when you're 70 and retired, oh yeah, ease of life, but what can I do to make my life a little bit more easy? Because we're not here to have a hard life. We're here to learn how to move through the discomfort of what kind of makes us stressed out, right? How do we move through the discomfort of of the bills and the whatever, so it's so funny. We were just talking about that last night, me and Laura.
It's the peace that comes at that age, and that's when I read that. I might have read that even before recovery. So when I read that, I know that that's what I was trying to shoot for. I understand, I'm aware enough to know you can't get 25 years of recovery in 2 years. So I understand that I maybe not be able to get that 70s 20 feeling in where I'm at now, but understand what the energy they're talking about is trying. Like I said, that's why I said, I've been seeing that I was so focused on money lately, and I was I have way more than enough money than I could possibly need at the moment. So I have to remember that I'm getting greedy again, or when I focus on filming or doing a podcast, relaxing and letting go a lot. It's learning to let go every day.
Yes.
And that's where my father, I talked about my father and the strawberries, about learning to manage my stress, learning to be oh, okay, how can I manage stress better today?
Yeah.
And not, for me, it's not ignoring that I'm stressed, but being able to manage it and be like, I am stressed. And one of my character defects is self-reliance.
Yeah.
I try to like handle my own stress, my own stuff. Don't worry, I'll do this. I'll do the lights. I'm not gonna ask people out there for any donations because I'm gonna pay for the filming. I'm gonna pay for all that. I pay for all this, and it's like, well, hey, why don't you throw it out there?
What's up, Duck?
The duck is back. Why don't you throw it out there and start putting GoFundMes or start putting things.
Or if you want to donate, if you would like to donate to support the podcast, here's the Venmo or whatever.
Yeah, make merch and then they can have something and I can get something.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to like a Quiet Coyote.
Yeah.
We should think about
podcaster.
Merch. Quiet Coyote. Oh my god, like that, except
but
a coyote. Oh my goodness.
So for y'all, like, why is she wearing a raccoon eating a pickle? So my friend,
pickles are awesome.
Well, number one, pickles are awesome. I had some last night for dinner, and after this, I'm going to my
get more pickles
at a pickle party. And I was talking to my physical therapist Blake about it today. I'm like, I'm going to a pickle party. It's my niece, my best friend Emily's niece Avery's 4th birthday, so she's having pickle themed party, and she also loves raccoons. So like, I found this. I'm wearing. You probably can't really see, but I'm wearing like a pickle sphere, little earring here. They're from Amazon. They're like falling apart, but like we got a pair that's working or whatever. Yeah, so like I would definitely buy, like little coyote with a little whatever eating a pickle or whatever, and like that's our merch. That sounds great.
I love that pickle party.
Mm-hmm. Love the pickle party.
Hey, once you're a pickle, you can't be a cucumber.
That's
again.
right.
You can, that's
so
right.
embrace your like salinity and your saltiness and the brine of life. Ooh, embrace the brine of life. There you go.
So congratulations on next month will be 2 years.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Thank you so much.
What are we going to do to celebrate? As in you and me, but in general, what do you do to celebrate? Because that's like a big deal.
I don't even know. I've been kind of saving up because the trial scheduled for July 30th and 31st. But I do have vacation time at work. I think I'm going to wait for the semester to end and do like a weekend away with my daughter.
Oh, it sounds beautiful.
Like just maybe like the Jersey Shore, there's things on Groupon.
Love a Groupon. You can go to the mountains. For those of you who are not here live with us, we have this beautiful little relaxation film.
Poconos seems great.
Go up to New Paltz. I love New Paltz.
I go to New Paltz all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. It's 2 hours away. I'll go and I'll stay.
Yeah.
And I'll just rock out.
You can even do it just for a day, and they have such good thrifting there. I went to school up at SUNY New Paltz for 5 years for my undergrad and grad, and so that place has a special place in my heart.
I don't know how it is. I mean, I've been there during the school year. That's how I discovered it because my ex went to New Paltz. But when I go to New Paltz, like I'm like I really think like maybe I'll get a place up here when I like.
Same. Yeah. I'm like when I retire, I'm like maybe I'll retire up here. Like it's nice.
Yeah. When's the last time you've been to New Paltz?
Unfortunately, I lied. I'm a liar. I was going to say for my cousin's funeral.
Honest liar.
I was going to say for my cousin's funeral, which is back in November. But me and my dad went up a couple weeks ago to visit my family. Yeah, we didn't go like into New Paltz, but like my friends, my family lived outside of New Paltz just to visit. Because cousin Joanne was like really special. Like she was like kind of like a surrogate mother figure for me. When I went to New Paltz and
sorry for your loss.
Yes, thank you. She died suddenly. I went to New Paltz and like my car got like broke down or I had a flat tire and my dad was like, call cousin Joe. I'm like, who the hell is cousin Joe? Like, who is that? So apparently my dad's cousin Joanne and her husband Joe lived up in Highland.
Joe?
Yeah, Highland. So like then I started going over there for dinners, because I'm a college student. Like I would love to have a home cooked Italian meal. Thank you. And it's just like, we developed this wonderful relationship over the last 20 years or so, So me and my dad went up there a couple of weeks ago, and visited with her daughters and with her husband Joe. We had a lovely afternoon just reminiscing and, just eating all day because that's what you do as Italians, just eat all day. Had some nice pastries and stuff, and it was really nice. So it was a few weeks ago the last time I went up there.
Oh, it's really nice.
Yeah.
Oh, I love New Paltz.
It's the best.
I was going to ask you when you were talking about the, maybe going away with your daughter or whatever. And every time I think of go away, I think of like, what am I going to eat? Like, because I love to indulge. Like, what do you, like when I went to Maine, I didn't even think about it. I just fucking was like, I want a banana split.
Yes.
And I did, but like where I was in Maine was so beautiful. The town was so beautiful, and like there was just a beautiful little famous ice cream shop where they like looked like the old ice cream shop.
Like in the 50s? Yes.
Yeah, the kids were all dressed like that. And
Or Stranger Things season 3.
Yeah.
Iconic.
Yeah. So I wanted it, and I got it. You know, it's my day, you know, so that's
Ariana,
your day.
I want it about it. I want it about it.
What do you think?
I was thinking even maybe camping, so we could bring
Yeah.
our dog. I love barbecuing.
I love barbecue.
Oh, so
I could
summery.
live the entire summer never using my kitchen and just using the grill.
Yep.
I think I should eat barbecue today.
You should. Yes, I know what they're gonna have the pickle party. Hopefully more than just pickles to eat, but it'll be fun.
Pickle party.
Pickle party.
That's my political party, the pickle party.
Me too.
The pickle party. Yeah.
Yes.
The pickle party.
Pickled or nothing. That's the tagline. Pickled or nothing.
Awesome.
I feel like this is a natural place to kind of like wrap it up for today.
Yeah,
It feels
yeah.
like good.
It feels good.
How was your second time back, my friend?
I loved it. I
feel very
think
more
we have a great conversation.
Me too. It was beautiful. And you never, that's, I think, I don't know about John, but for me, like, I love, like, where the conversations go during our conversations. We don't really plan this, by the way. We don't really plan this. Maybe we'll talk a little bit off air about
Maybe some ideas.
you know, but then it just kind of like goes everywhere. And I love it. And I love that you agreed to come on the first time and then you also agreed to come on again.
Yes,
Thank you so much.
absolutely. I look forward to coming back and talking to you guys.
Absolutely. So I'm going to turn to my lovely co-host here, Mr. John Jeremy. What is your affirmation, pearl, gem, jewel of wisdom?
If your medical situation or your physical or whatever permits it, get a banana split.
Yes.
Go get a banana split.
Go
They're pretty
treat
good.
yourself.
Treat yourself if you can.
Yes, I love that. Do you have a pearl, gem, wisdom nugget?
Yes. Peace of mind is invaluable.
Oh, peace of mind is invaluable. I love that. I think mine. We snap, we clap, I don't know, all the things. We clock it, like the kids say. I think mine is, resilience is practice. You know, it is also innate, like you said. I agree, John, but also resilience is practice. So when you feel downtrodden, when you feel defeated, when you feel not good enough, like practice your resilience practices, which for me are positive self-talk, reaching out to people, not being in it by myself, and just remember that I got through 100% of my bad days. And this is no different today, you know?
I love that. And accepting the help.
Accepting help.
Accepting it. I got to do
Asking for that.
And asking for help.
Asking and accepting. A and A.
Yeah, double A.
Yeah, double A. That's it. Like
Double AH. Awesome. Thank you all for coming today and for joining us. And thank you to our guest, Michelle. And thank you, John, for having us today. And we'll catch you on the flippity flop.
Peace out, everyone.
So what's your podcast about?
Okay, this is making me feel really uncomfortable. Not like it. Is my mic on? Okay. Well then, let's go.
Hey, everyone, look here. Quiet coyote. Quiet coyote.